Imagine a ship, once called the Unsinkable, meeting its fate not just because of an iceberg but due to a series of overlooked details. This vessel, the Titanic, has been etched in humanity's collective memory as a symbol of man's hubris, and the iceberg as a symbol of nature's indomitable will. The narrative we've all heard and accepted is that a colossal iceberg, looming out of the dark, cold Atlantic night, was the solitary cause of the Titanic's tragic end. This is the story that has been passed down through generations, the story that has inspired countless books, films, and even songs. However, have you ever stopped to question that narrative? Could it be possible that there's more to the story than meets the eye? More than a single iceberg that led to the downfall of the world's most famous ship? But what if we told you that the iceberg was not the sole perpetrator of this disaster? The Titanic, a symbol of human ambition, was not as perfect as it seemed. Nestled beneath the grandeur and opulence was a series of design flaws and shortcuts that ultimately contributed to its downfall. Let's first consider the Titanic's rivets. To hold the ship together, over 3 million rivets were used, but not all of them were of top-notch quality. Some were made of subpar iron, especially in the ship's bow and stern, making these areas more susceptible to damage. Now let's look at the lifeboats. The Titanic was equipped with only 20 lifeboats, a far cry from the 48 it was designed to carry. This was a decision made to preserve the aesthetic appeal of the deck. Tragically, this meant there were not enough lifeboats to accommodate all the passengers when disaster struck. These significant oversights, among others, reveal that the unsinkable ship was, in fact, a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Warnings were given, but they fell on deaf ears. The Titanic, the so-called unsinkable ship, was speeding towards a tragic destiny. As the grand vessel cut through the icy waters of the North Atlantic, it received multiple warnings. Other ships in the vicinity were sending frantic messages. Icebergs were ahead. But the Titanic was under pressure, a pressure that came with a promise to reach New York in record time. This urgency, this need for speed, led to the dismissal of the dire warnings. The ship, a marvel of human ingenuity, was sailing at full speed. The warnings were not just ignored, they were blatantly disregarded. The chilling whispers of danger were drowned out by the Titanic's relentless pursuit of its record-breaking journey. But time was running out. The iceberg warnings, the ignored pleas for caution, were about to culminate in a catastrophe of unthinkable proportions. Unbeknownst to all aboard, the Titanic was hurtling towards its doom, with all aboard oblivious. The iceberg was the trigger, but the Titanic was already set up for disaster. Let's not forget, the Titanic was deemed unsinkable, a testament to human achievement. Yet it sank on its maiden voyage. The iceberg wasn't the sole culprit. It was human error, overconfidence, and negligence that sealed its fate. The ship's hidden flaws, the ignored warnings, all dark shadows in the Titanic's story. The shipbuilder's pride, the crew's complacency, the wireless operator's dismissive attitude, these were the true icebergs that the Titanic hit. It was not just a failure of steel and rivets, but a failure of people. This was no act of nature. It wasn't the iceberg that sunk the Titanic. It was human arrogance. This tragedy teaches us that no matter how advanced our technology, no matter how confident we are in our abilities, we are never invincible. The Titanic's downfall was not an act of nature, but a man-made disaster that continues to serve as a stark reminder of the cost of human arrogance.